Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 7025 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Yeah. Jones. Hey, Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.
All right, Las Vegas. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Greg Deville. I want to welcome you to the Well Building broadcast every Wednesday at high noon, Hot 702.5 FM. Listen, we are excited to be back. It's been a minute. Good to see my engineer again. We're back in the studio. We live. We back, y'all. Listen, we have been on a journey with my book, The Journey into Entrepreneurship and Success. Oh, boy. We have been on tour. It has been wonderful. It's exciting. In fact, you know what's amazing is I just got a phone call from a friend, Mary Crystals, and she was telling me how phenomenal the book was for her and her reading. She said, ooh, it was good. She said, I even had a tear moment in there. It's a memoir. It's a workbook. It's exciting. I am so glad to be able to share my story. It's somewhat of a memoir, but it's a motivational workbook to inspire you to success. If you plan to be successful, let me give you some. I'm 45 years in the business. I've been around a while. Not a new kid on the block. I've been around a few corners, man. I've had some good, some bad, some uglies, and some difference. But listen, at the end of the day, man, I'm still here, successful, having fun, helping families, doing what I do. That is what I love. Real estate, success, entrepreneurship. And if something you've been thinking about doing, let me encourage you that it is possible. Now, you may have to keep your job initially to get this business off the ground. You need funding in order to bring it to pass. But it's like anything else. If you continue to be committed, continue to be straightforward and shoot from the hip, and understand, if you devote time to it, it will grow. They say if you water a plant, it'll grow. Give it a little sunlight. You need a motivational workbook? I've got one for you. Deville Realty is sponsoring the journey into entrepreneurship and success. I've been getting snapshots from pages of people saying, man, this blessed me right here. Shout out to Black Soul, man. He sent me something on Facebook this morning, screenshotting a chapter in the book. and I don't want to give it away. You got to get this book. It's imperative. It's a low $26, like the year 2026. I mean, my word this year is intentional. So 2026 is $26. You can go to gregdeville.store, get the book. You'll be glad you did. My contact, if you get that book, I want you to text me because there's a soundtrack to the book, but you have to read it to understand the soundtrack. So I just told Mary, I'm going to send you the soundtrack to the book. It was written by Tara Gordon, Tara Deneen, wonderful writer, skilled at producing good information with some lyrics and some music, and it's wonderful. It goes directly and exactly with the book. So if that's you, you're thinking about it, let me help you out. So once you read that book, if you picked it up, listen, 702-349-0162. Text me right there, say, have read the book. I want to text you the song, because the song is not beneficial unless you read the book. Then you understand the song. It really talks the book in the song. So I'm excited about it. It's great information. I've been 7 years writing this book. I started, I stopped, writer's block, mental block, do it block. I've had a whole lot of things. Busy block, just getting real busy. And really, I didn't think I had enough to write a book about. I thought my life was just a life. But people hearing the story were inspired to say, you should put that in a book. And I thought, okay, well, there are some things I've gone through that are worth writing about. And so I took the liberty of taking the time to do that. And so I'm glad I did. Because so many people are being inspired, motivated. I'm going on a book tour, nationwide campaign. We're doing, we're actually going to be eventually, in the bookstores and on Amazon. Right now, I'm direct distributing. So it's at gregdeville.store. And you can pick that copy up and we'll get it over to you. Because there is a soundtrack, I want you to text me once you read the book. We were at the Gospel Fest this past weekend. Others that come by my booth, I did have a booth set up there. And shout out to Tanya Myers, blessing us with the opportunity to be a part of the Gospel Fest, which is an annual event in Henderson. And it was absolutely amazing. We were honored a special congressional recognition from the U.S. House of Representatives, Nevada's 4th district with Congressman Stephen Horsford. Man, that was a surprise. And I said, but he didn't read the book. And I asked AI, well, if you didn't read the book, what is that? It says it wasn't about the book. It was about the man. It was about what you've been doing in the community. It's about what you've been giving back to people and inspiring people to go higher in whatever they're doing. Home ownership, building wealth, creating wealth through equity, putting first-time buyers, VA buyers, people who never owned a home, but who aspire to owning a home, people who never thought they could own a home. I had one lady cry when I gave her the keys. She said, Mr. Deville, I'm the first in 2 generations to ever own a home. My grandmother's mother didn't own a home. My mother didn't own a home. Guess what? We were able to get her keys. But how do we do it? Praise God. Through the radio, through marketing. Those of you that are in business, talk about your business. Maybe you can't afford radio. Maybe you can't afford, but you can't afford to go to events. You can't afford to have physical, digital cards to talk about your business. And let me say this to you that want to be in business. Talk about your business. If you're a beautician and you don't talk about that you're a beautician or a nail tech, a barber, a mobile detail, whatever it is you might do, if you don't talk about it, one of the issues become you're a silent agent. You're a secret agent. And you can't help people if they don't know what you do. In fact, they can't even help you if they don't know what you do. And so one of the avenues I've chosen over the many years, I'm 10 years on radio, everybody. Just celebrate that in 2025. I came on radio in 2015. Not sure that I could stay long for the price that it was costing. But you know what I learned? That it's just an expense. It's like auto insurance. It's like a car note. You just budget it in. And things that you find out you really want in life, you learn to budget it in. Now I'll say this. I'm going to have Mike come on today. We're going to bring him on. And I want to say to you, all of you, understand, you're getting ready to have the season for taxes. Your tax refunds are on the way. Some of you, they're in the mail. You got the date. Some of you already got in advance. But I want to say this to you that are receiving, that if you don't fix your credit and use that money, I mean, literally, guess what? We just had Christmas. What else could you possibly need but to turn around your credit history? There are some new laws handed down that were signed into order about some of the credit things. I want you to find out about it. Mike's going to talk about some of the advantages. And today my show is going to be entitled The Advantage of Having Good Credit. The advantages of good credit and what that looks like. Because, you know, there are people looking to rent. I've been looking for a friend of mine who's looking to rent a place, and they asked for a 650 credit score. And I wanted to call them directly as a broker and say, excuse me, you want to rent a house with a 650 credit score? I can sell a house with a 620 credit score with no money down. I can get a buyer approved with no money down at 620 FICO score. You want them to rent 650. The nerve of property management. Let me tell you something. If you've been looking at renting a house and you got above a 600 credit score, if you got a 401k on your job, you can purchase a home with a 580. Never mind all this renting stuff, man. Never mind going out here renting somebody's house, continuing to pay equity for somebody else because you're paying a mortgage. You hear me say it all the time. Yes, you are. You're paying a mortgage when you pay rent for someone else. And I know your landlord's selling the house. Guess what? You may be eligible to approve to purchase the very house. How would I know? How many families, shout out to the Webb family, been renting a house for years, and the landlord decides to sell. And they call me because they heard me on radio. Hey, our landlord's selling, and we're going to have to prepare to move. I said, well, would you like to purchase the home that you live in, that you've been renting for 5 years, that you paid down the principal of the mortgage on? They said, is that even possible? I said, absolutely. I've done in the course of my 10 years on radio, probably 20, where people have purchased a home they've been renting. So let me say this to you today. Get pre-approved. Shout out to Deville, who contacted me this morning. He says, man, I met him at the Gospel Fest on Saturday. And he's a veteran. He said, man, I've been renting. He said, man, I'm glad to have finally met you. I've been hearing you for years, but I had the opportunity to meet you. And I don't know, it was something about the meeting that actually got him to pull the trigger and contact me. Let me say, those of you who've been hearing me for years and you have not yet reached out to me, please, ma'am, sir, reach out to me. You're a veteran and you're paying. You know, you ever heard the term living beneath your privilege? If you're a veteran, you have privilege. And in that privilege, the opportunity for you, man, let me say this to you. It's just a matter, you're a phone call away. You're a text away. You can text me directly. You can go to my YouTube channel at Greg Deville YouTube. You can reach out to me on all social platforms. My IG, Greg Deville LV. Facebook, Greg Deville. GregDeville.com. Reach out to me. I want to hear from you. It's imperative that 2026 doesn't get away like 2025 did for you. I know you meant well, and you kept saying, I meant to call Deville, but I'm glad. Shout out to Ron, man. I met Ron at the Gospel Fest because I had a booth there. Met a lot of great people. Some people just stood out more, right? Nothing against everybody that stopped by the booth, and those are that purchased books. Everybody stopped pretty much, except for maybe 3 people. But everybody purchased the book, and I want to appreciate everyone. And when you read the book, you'll find, man, the stories relate to a lot of us. My story is not a lot different than most of us. There's some things I've gone through that maybe I'm a widow of a wife deceased during our marriage, and I've gone through some things, but nevertheless, I'm still here. 45 years of business, just about to turn 61 in just a couple of weeks. Actually, I'm so excited to be where I'm at in life, and I wrote about it and the journey, what that journey looks like. It's a motivational workbook. To those of you that are aspiring entrepreneurs, you're aspiring to be successful. What does that look like? You can have a job and be successful. Now, you never probably reach the owner of the level of the owner of the company, but you can be successful. How's that? Through other investments. You own a home, take that equity and create a residual income. Let's create something that makes money for you. Because the more you spend, the more stuff you gather, you realize that when the landlord decides to sell, you got a whole lot of stuff. And so why we accumulate stuff but never equity? It's because you haven't called Greg Deville, right? 702-349-0162. Or again, all social platforms, Greg Deville. Just however you want to reach out, whatever your best way of reaching out, Greg Deville across all platforms. I want to hear from you. I want to get you started. Now, remember, in getting into home ownership, credit is important. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we get your credit where it needs to be. You can buy a house with a low as 580 credit score. Let me share this with you. The wonderful opportunity is Uncle Willie, Uncle Mike, Uncle Larry, whoever, they can help you now with the down payment with no restrictions. If you need 10, 15, 20,000 and Uncle Willie got it under the mattress, he can give you that as a down payment. He just can't give it directly to you, but he has to put it into escrow for you. And that's an advantage for you because now you can own a home with the help of a family member with no strings attached. It cannot be a loan, though. Cannot use the term, I'm loaning you the money. Whatever y'all work on the outside, that's you guys. But as far as documentation is concerned, it's going to be a gift. Now, whatever y'all talk about later on, you're going to mow the grass for 6 months. You're going to paint the trim of the house. Whatever you guys agree to, that's out of the record. That's off record. But certainly he can give you that money towards your down payment. You can get a family member, friend to help get pre-approved. That's very important in this era. 2026 tax season. What are you going to do with your refund this year? What are you going to do differently? Let's do that. What are you going to do differently that you've always done that you need to do that's going to allow you to what? Create generational wealth. How do you do that? I want to welcome you to the Greg Deville Wealth Building Broadcast. It's what we talk about, building wealth, creating generational wealth. What does your legacy look like? You know, legacy is not what you leave a man, it's what you leave in a man or a woman. You want to talk legacy. Many people leave here and don't leave anything. You know, shout out to my friend Reba Labat and Don Marquez, the insurance guys and ladies, and get that insurance. I was listening to a show yesterday about insurance, you know, and how important it is that you have a policy on family. So when you leave, you don't leave debt. You don't leave, you know, it's amazing. I wrote it in the book. When I was a kid, my dad passed away when I was 18 years old. And I was raised by a single dad. It's in the book. But my dad left an insurance policy that paid off the mortgage. I owned a house at 18 years old. Now, it didn't last because a fool and his money soon depart, right? I got on drugs and all that whole 1980s era. It was a mess, right? But here we are today. We're back. It's great news. We're back. And so with that information, again, it's in the book, The Journey into Entrepreneurship and Success. Very important that you get this book. I want to see you all get it. I can't seem to get the light off of it. It's kind of bright, but go to gregdeville.store. All the information's right there. Certainly want to hear from you. Get the book. It'll help you. But again, as this show is dedicated to getting your credit together, getting the credit where it needs to be. Very, very important. Because in 2026, as we move along, you've got to know that your credit can get you places that bad credit won't let you in the door. Now, we don't need a lot of credit. I had an individual this week call me, said, Deville, I want to find out if I qualify. I said, I want you to reach out to my lender and you all discuss what that looks like. There it is, the book. The journey. Yes, let's leave that up for today. The important things I want to say is that knowing where you are. Now, let me be transparent, as I've always been, and I always will be, is that when I went to the lender, I wasn't ready either, however you want to say that. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't professionally in a place to qualify to receive a home loan. But the wonderful part of the whole story is they gave me a game plan. I love it. It's exciting. They gave me a strategy. She told me, Deville, you're not ready yet. Because here's what she said. It's never no, Deville. It's just not right now. It's not no, not saying I can't get you approved, just not right now. But here's what I want you to do, Deville. I want you to get 2 credit cards, and I want you to use them for 90 days. Use them, pay them off. So You can show a trade line. You can show the ability to pay debt back, because no credit, watch this, is worse than bad credit. Well, what do you mean? That's right. At least bad credit, they know you don't pay. With no credit, they don't know what you might do. So if you've got bad credit and you know it's bad, well, how bad is it? What do I need to do to make it good? How do I rectify my problem? How do I get it in a better position to allow me to be in position this 2026 year to be able to purchase a home? Somebody said, I'm tired of giving my money to these landlords and they sell the house and I got to move. Somebody told me once, oh, I love the house. I can't afford that I live in. I can't afford to purchase it, but I love it. It's beautiful. And I said, but what if the landlord, oh, they ain't going to sell and I can't afford to live. Guess what? A year or so later, I heard the landlord sold the house. So that beautiful home you fell in love with that belongs to it's like falling in love with another man's wife or another woman's man. It doesn't belong to you. So at the end of the day, what are you doing falling in love with something that doesn't belong to you? It belongs to someone else. So that's what we're saying about mortgage. That's what we're saying about rentals or lease. If you like to term it lease, I lease. I don't rent, I lease. Well, you could be bougie about it. At the end of the day, it's a rental. Yeah, it's a rental. And it belongs to someone else. So now I've been in business over 45 years, real estate. Listen. I moved here 25 years ago. 20 years ago, I went and got my real estate license here in Las Vegas. And let me say this, it's been a journey. But do you know the countless number of people? I met a couple people that said I didn't recognize them. Ladies, you always got these hairdos, right? So I didn't recognize them. But they reminded me the name of the street. I said, I remember that now. I remember that property. I did sell you that. It's been 7-8 years. They said, oh, Mr. Deville, we're so glad to have listened to your show and made the call. That's all you got to do is reach out and contact me. I'd love to help. IG, Greg Deville LV. Facebook, Greg Deville. GregDeville.com. Greg Deville on YouTube. Go to Greg Deville. Find me. Get with me. Contact me. Let's make it happen this year. 2020. Stop saying I'm going to do it next year. You said that last year. It's like the commercial. You're just sitting on the couch. Might as well make the call. You ain't doing nothing anyway. You're just paying rent. Let me say, sometimes for what you're paying in rent, the mortgage could be just a couple $100 more. It may not be as low as the rent is, but guess what? Even though the rent's low, you're not getting any equity from that. And so your mortgage may be a few $100s higher, but you're getting at the end of the year, you're getting tax benefits, you're getting deductibles and deductions. They're benefits to owning, right? So we just got to get involved so that we can now be proud to pull up to your own house, proud to pull up to what's yours. Because I know you love the house. You decorated, you made the space yours, you match colors, you stuck pictures on the walls. Did you know every hole in the wall takes a deduction from your deposits? I know one lady, she put stickers on the wall. She made the whole wall pink. I said, why'd you do that? She said, I just like pink. I said, but it's not your house. This is a rental. You're sticking stuff on people's walls and peeling stuff off the walls. You're peeling off a piece of the drywall. Well, it's mine while I rent it. Let me say this to you. If you have expectation to ever own a home, walk thereby. Say, this is temporary for me. I'm not going to put all these pictures on the wall. I'll tell you what, this is going to be temporary because I got a vision. I'm going to do this last year in a rental. And I'm working on my credit. This year, my tax refund, I'm paying some things down or either off. One or the other. I'm going to catch up on some stuff versus, waiting to do other things. Fix that credit. We have Mike. Is Mike ready? Listen, Mike, there he is. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
Real good, Greg. How are you?
Good, man. Listen, everybody, this is Mike. Magic Mike. I call him Magic Mike. Mike is very knowledgeable, man, in the industry of credit. He owns. Mike, I want you to tell everyone what it is exactly you're doing, where you're at, and exactly the name of the business.
So the name of the company is Community Credit Repair. We've been here for 8 years helping the community. I know I met Greg. We probably met each other about 5 or 6 years ago, right? Near that COVID time. So, yes.
Wonderful.
So, yep, helping people get their credit fixed, helping move credit scores, helping lower debt. So that's our goal.
There you go. And as we were discussing earlier, Mike, we talked about tax refunds, right? And so as people are getting those tax refunds, let's try to motivate them to see the direction they need to move when it comes to getting what's the first step? I got this money. What would be your directive? I've got the money now. My refund came in on the 19th. I got it in hand. Where should I start, Mike?
The most important debt to pay, and especially if we're going to raise credit scores, is attacking your credit card debt.
Credit card. There you go. Take notes, everybody. We got Magic Mike with us, the credit specialist. Say it again for somebody just tuned in, Mike.
And we want to start with our highest interest rates for sure. Whatever the highest rates are, we want to pay those down first. Or, let me throw something out. I've been talking to you in a little while. There's ways that we have plans set up now to even lower interest rates on credit cards. So as we do that snowball effect and throw money at those cards, if there's a couple cards we can't get to, we can lower those interest rates and set those up on plans to pay them off quicker and erase that interest.
Now, how do we set them up on plans? Explain that a little bit. How does that even look?
So even people I've seen a lot of people, it's funny, I did a show last month and it's the day of reckoning. We've all been getting our 0% cards. We probably got them 18 months ago when everybody was going after them last year. And those credit card rates are changing. We need to know it's okay. We need to pay those cards off, pay them down. But if we can't, we can then readjust those credit cards where the rates have went up, lower those rates back down to zero.
Give me, Mike, you said you did a show last week and you gave a lot of information. I want you to reiterate, if you will, some of the powerful points that you made last week on a different show that you might help my listeners to encourage them, man, to why is credit important, why they should focus with this refund on, tackling something different than Macy's. And I heard that the one of the stores is going out of business, one of the expensive stores, but people still love to shop there. But tell them, Mike, give some of the information you gave last week on your great show.
Let me go over a couple of things that are way important. So things I would avoid first.
Okay.
I saw a big thing in December. Everyone's hitting Affirm and Klarna. We want to avoid these buy now, pay later. So that's important. Each one of those goes onto your credit report as a different line of credit. So before you know, you get 5, 6 of these new credit accounts. And when you're starting to manage 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 accounts, we see a lot of people that get 30 days. I would try to avoid these, consolidate these onto a credit card, and then the credit card you pay off. Oh, that's the first thing. I would try to avoid these new companies, and almost everyone's doing it right now. They're giving you a chance to buy these buy something now, and then pay installments. It can be even a vacation rental, airplane tickets. But I'm telling you, it's a future issue if not managed correctly for you.
Wow. Go ahead, Mike. I'm going to sit back and give you the show.
Hey, then back to debt. Obviously, what do? We put on a lot of new debt. Maybe it was business debt, or we put on our personal debt. We just came out of Christmas. We're into quarter one. Our tax refunds are here. Every year in the United States, most people in general are paying down their debt. Last year would be the first year if we watched the big the debt increase and pay down. Pay down didn't happen. That's not good. We don't want to be part of those numbers. We want to make sure we pay down this debt. It's important for your credit score. More importantly, it's important for your pocketbook. The amount of money you're paying on a 29% loan on a $10,000 credit card is $300 a month. $300 you shouldn't be paying. Yeah. So we can look at other loans. People sometimes use the word consolidate. You really want to avoid a consolidation company. Oh. But you could look at a credit union that could help you get a consolidation loan. So there's a difference. Okay. You go to a credit union, a lot of them will give you loans up to 20 grand, and your rates can be as low as 8, 9%. So that's something to look at also, to pay off your debt. That would help increase your credit score, lower your debt, lower the amount you're paying back each month. Or, like I said, you can lower interest rates. That's something we can do as a company. It's not quite as easy as I say it is, but it's something that can be done to help you get back on track. But back to your point, I can't reiterate how important it is to pay down credit card debt. It's the single biggest factor in raising your credit score.
So contribute a lot of expense to the credit card. Number one, what would be our second thing if somebody says, well, I don't really have credit card. Give me something, Mike, that you think would help me as well get my credit where I need to be in 2026.
Man, you want to then get a credit card.
Then get one. Okay.
You want to get one, but you don't want to use you want to make sure those balances are low. Or a neat little trick is having somebody, a family member, add you onto a credit card as an authorized user. Somebody who has good payment history, a nice limit, and keeps that balance low. That's a nice trick to increase your score a whole lot.
So now I know when I went to purchase a home, I wasn't quite ready, and I was just explaining that before you came on, that I wasn't quite ready then, but she did say get 2 credit cards, use them and pay them to show your trade line billing, right? To show that your payment history, because a lot of our history is bad, Mike. A lot of history is bad. How do we get on track with this? Give me a little something.
So, it's just a change in thinking. It's okay if we had bad credit. It's okay even if we have bad credit today, but we want to start today making those bills back on time. And we can see our credit slowly get better. Our past becomes our past, and our future looks better because we're back on track paying these things on time. So we can come out of bad credit just fine.
So how many months do I look at? I know in a mortgage, you can't be late for 1 year of history to get into a lot of these loans that are out available right now. Is they're looking at your track record, right? Or you got 3 30-day lates, I know in a mortgage, Mike, you can pay your mortgage on the 30th, just long as you pay it before the 1st, that it doesn't report.
Right.
So I guess one of the things I heard, and can you explain a little bit more about knowing your date, your due date? Can you explain a little bit about that? Because a lot of people don't understand that due date on that credit card.
So the due date, we'll just say that your due date is the 1st of the month.
Okay.
But actually, if you and almost everything's electronically, we don't look at it. But if you look at that statement, there is an actual different date. It's called your statement date.
Okay.
And the statement date will say is the 25th.
Okay.
Credit cards due on the 1st. You want to, if you can, pay that account actually 5-6 days earlier before the statement date, because that's the date they actually report to the credit bureau.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to use it and build your credit, pay before the statement date. That's what reports to the credit bureau.
Right.
Now back to your original question, you can't be reported late until you're 30 days late. You don't want to try to get into this cycle, but if it's due on the 1st, you could pay that bill 25 days late without being heard. But remember, you're going to pay accrued interest. You're going to pay late fees. But they can't affect your credit report. And if you do pay late, what do we usually see? We see 80, 90 point drop in credit score. So a lot of people think, hey, when I get that paid on time, I'm going to get my 80, 90 points back. Then it's the opposite. Big drop, and then it's a slow, gradual climb. But again, it's okay. I mean, if those things happen, we want to just get back on track, get back to what we're doing right, get those bills being paid on time, and again, let that past become our past.
Now, Mike, you said 80. It could be 80 points drop. How long do you kind of see from your years in the business industry? How long is it taking me to get that 80 points back? Like, what do I need to do to kind of recover from that?
Man, again, we lose 80 points in a day. It could take 6 months to gain that back. And if you go late on an auto payment or a home payment, it could be 12 months before you really gain those points back. So we want to try to avoid at all costs any type of late payments. Now, if they do happen, I mean, there are laws in place where we can go to the credit bureaus and fight with them and try to get that late removed. There's even ways we can go right to the creditor and ask for forgiveness if this has happened in the past, and ask them to actually update that to a current status if we had a good reason or just going after their good nature.
So good reason. Okay, Mike, Like, everybody's asking, I wonder what's a good reason.
Well,
My dog died, cat fell out, cat got hit.
how about
what-
sometimes they make mistakes too. I fight all the time where they've actually reported somebody with a 30-day late.
Uh-huh.
And it's not true. It's happened. I fought with Toyota Motor Credit. It's been fixed. Many car companies, credit card companies make mistakes. Here's a good example. This is why it's so important. One of the most important things is to monitor your credit. And I'll give you, this is the reason why you always want to be looking at your credit. You should look at it, we're going to say at least twice a month. Pick the 15th and the 1st.
Okay.
Make sure, those bills were paid. Make sure no 30 days were put on there. So I have a gentleman, he has multiple accounts at a bank. He has a HELOC, he has his mortgage and a credit card there. And he walked in and paid the teller cash for his HELOC, for his line of credit on his home.
Right.
Well, the teller actually posted that money to his credit card account that day. His HELOC showed a 30-day late. He didn't even know. I was just doing my general check of his credit. And I go, you just had a late show. He goes, Mike. And then he shared that story with me.
Yeah.
So we had to go back to the bank. I'd get on the phone with the bank and explain the mistake that they made and get this fixed. Obviously, even something as simple as this takes a little while, but we want to be aware of them, and then we can get it fixed and updated. Again, mistakes happen in a day, and to fix them can take 4 to 6 weeks, but we want to make sure we're watching them, get them fixed.
Now, what link or what site do you recommend? I know there are 3 bureaus that report. You say I should monitor it a couple times a month or whatever that time frame was you gave me. Where should I be looking? Because I'll tell you, I pay cash for everything, Mike. So credit not a real big deal to me because I already own the house. I mean, but to people I want to help get into homeownership and the credit is valuable to them. Where should I be looking to, kind of get a fresh report regularly? Where do you recommend?
So there's lots of pay sites, but I'm good with just the free sites. And sometimes the scores aren't perfect, but the credit is. So Experian.com offers a free product, which is perfect to look at your credit. It updates daily. And Credit Karma, they use a different score system, the Advantage score, but the credit's updated every 3 or 4 days, and sometimes almost daily. Credit is reported perfect on there. Scores are just a little bit different. We could talk about that, but 2 good free sites. You see all 3 credit reports, and you can just have an idea what's always going on with your credit.
So download the app Credit Karma and kind of keep it.
Yep, that gives you TransUnion and Equifax.
Okay.
And
so
then
I
the same
understand.
thing.
There are 3 scores reporting. Which one? So I understand a little bit about it. I'm not a lender, but I understand there are 3 scores, and they kind of take the 3 and take a middle score because they always tell me, what is the middle score? We shouldn't have to worry about that, right? We should see how we're reporting. Am I understanding that correctly? That we see how we're reporting, and if we got lates, if it was an error, we need to contact that department.
Right. We want to fight any errors. We want to fight with everybody. So I'm in credit repair. I want to fight everything, every collection, every charge off.
Right.
We want to work on getting that removed without paying. So, I mean, there's FDCPA issues all the time on credit bureaus. I even work with a consumer advocate attorney. We sue companies. So there are certain companies that are doing the wrong thing, and they could be doing the wrong thing for $400 or $19,000. So these things can come off your credit reports too.
What's another good bit of advice, Mike, that you would share that you're really passionate about when it comes to this credit?
Well, I guess what we're just talking about is, if we're on these free sites, don't focus on score as much as focus on paying my bills on time and paying my debt down. The scores will come. When you go to a mortgage broker, they're using a FICO 2, FICO 5 product. You're really not going to find those out there. Experian already has FICO 11. Credit Karma has the Vantage system, which it looks like home builders are going to, and FHA is going to start using the score system real soon. So this is going to be a relevant score system coming up. So just paying your bills on time is going to get you to where you need to be. And probably more importantly, you're in the business. Some people shoot for perfection. You know what? Credit doesn't have to be perfect. Neither does your score. FHA at 640 gets you a home.
FHA 580 can get you a home, Mike, if you got your money down.
FHA 580. So we don't have to be perfect.
Right.
We just got to be good. And then we just got to have that want, man, to that next level for home ownership, because there's nothing like it for building wealth.
Man, I was just talking about that while you were getting logged in with my engineer, that, look, when you pay rent, you are paying somebody's mortgage, right? You're just, you're paying their principal and interest, and these landlords decide to sell. Now you go to rent. Hey, Mike, I told somebody today when I was on the radio, I mentioned it as well, but they're looking to rent, and she was telling me their requirement was a 650 FICO to rent a house through the property management.
That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
650. Mike, I can rent you. I can sell you a house with a 620, a 600, a 580 for a veteran, a 560 for a veteran right now, Mike. That just means you paid some of your bills, right? I can get you a house as a veteran with a VA, right, certificate with a 560 credit score. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances, of course, that we'll have to kind of work through. But if I can get a desktop eligible, right? So, but it's ridiculous where these property managements are requiring you. And then to top it off, when you say a 650, I can get a no money down, 100% no money down with a 640 and get the closing costs paid, Mike. Guess what? That means you paid no money out of pocket to purchase a home.
Right.
Where these landlords are saying 650, 640. Man, so go ahead, Mike. Go, because
I'm on your team, man. You want to get your house, and people,
right.
Then people, the next step, right? So you got your home. What are you doing? You're gonna stay in that house. You're paying for it for a while. Then you talk, HELOCs has been the big thing. Why are people getting HELOCs? And so then they can buy their second house. So you can now be a landlord. You then can be the landlord.
Right.
Then when we're sitting at the pool, we're having a little drink, maybe some lemonade if you like it a little bit stronger. And then you see on your phone and someone just Zelled you your rent money as you're just drinking a little cocktail at the pool. It's a whole different life. So the first thing is that you want to get that first house, you got to get it done.
You got to get it done. And Mike, I know you say get another house, but I've been helping families get triplex and fourplex using the equity in their home. Right. And they love it so much. I got a client right now. We bought it a few years back, maybe about 9 years. Bought it at $300 cash money. Do you know that place is almost $650,000 now?
So there are no fourplexes under 625 in Las Vegas. To give you an idea. So 300. I'll just share this. So I dabble in business credit. So I'll just share my own story. So bidding was so hard and is pretty hard on fourplexes still. Thinking, man, I can't bid with my perfect credit, my money down. I pulled out, built my business credit, pulled out $500,000 so I could go in and bid with cash to get my first fourplex with my business credit. And then when I talk about when I'm in Mexico, man, those Zells come over. It's like, rent's coming in. And my loan on that $500,000 so cheap. I mean, there's just cheap money out there. So that's you want that good credit score to find that cheap money to invest in real estate. There's people invest in all types of things. There's nothing like real estate. I could argue that all day long.
So as we talk about Mike and we prepare to kind of end the show, so for someone to say, I need credit restoration, Mike, where is exactly that they need to be to really, because you gave us a big nugget. You said, listen, tackle those credit cards, right? That alone is some of the people's biggest issues, right? Are the credit cards. But for someone more than that, how low does it need to be, or what do they need to be to say, I need to see Mike?
Man, it really doesn't. It can be as bad as you can think it is, because I've seen it all.
Okay.
But really, you want to just have that, that want to fix your credit. I promise you, I'll come up with a strategy for you to come out of a situation. I'll go over, and again, I know that nickname was given to me on a show years and years ago.
Yeah.
It's not just the magic. It is the hard work that we put in. So I got a pretty big team. All we do here is credit repair. We'll come up with a strategy to help get your credit back on track. If it's a few months or if it's longer, we'll go over timelines once we look at it, but a real plan on how to get the credit, the score back up, saving up down payment, or it sounds like you don't even need down payment in some cases. So, but I mean, really just looking at it, if not, I'm telling you, the things that have changed, if we don't address it, which was something that used to happen a decade ago, I mean, post-COVID, I mean, credit card companies, they're suing you at 121 days. The amount of lawsuits I see right now is unbelievable. So it's important to just, man, you can just call me. We can sit and chat. I don't charge for phone calls. We can just sit and chat like this if you like.
Yeah. And if you guys want to reach out, of course, you give me a call, 702-349-0162. And I'd love to connect with you, to connect you with Mike so that we can have you. We just want to hold on to the information to be able to reach it back to you once you're done. And we can get you set up into home ownership. Because remember, I'm Greg Deville, the real estate broker. And I have been doing this business here in Las Vegas, Mike, over 20 years in the real estate industry. I've been a broker now for 10 years. And I built the largest black-owned real estate brokerage in Nevada with 3 locations. Been on radio 10 years now, talking the same information, empowering community to create generational wealth through equity. And so, Mike, I appreciate your service, what you bring, the knowledge you give, and for coming on to the show and explaining that you can help people get from where they are, where they want to be when it comes to credit. And so I'm going to pull together a spreadsheet, Mike. I'm going to reach out to you with a spreadsheet so that way we can kind of help people with this tax refund, right? Because that's where it's at right now. They're use
that money.
Yeah, use that money, because I know people said they know the date. And a lot of people are getting advances on this refund, They know the date that they're actually getting that refund. So reach out, everybody that this year you want to make it the year of importance to you to get in a homeowner, especially with this no money down. This money, these funds are allocated, and the market we're in right now, Mike, sellers, I got a deal right now. They're asking for $12,000 in closing costs. And you know what? We're about to pay it. You know why? Because we've been waiting on an offer for 40 days. And so my sellers are hungry. So this is what I'm saying. Those of you that are buyers, the sellers are willing to, you need $12,000. If they needed 15, we more than likely would be paying the 15,000. You know why? Because sellers want a buyer. It's a buyer's market, Mike. And that's why I'm saying, please, if you're listening, get your credit where it needs to be so you can take an opportunity where you need to be to take advantage of what the market is offering. These people are reducing the price by $34,000, Mike. They came down 19 on the price of the house. They asked for $12,000, Mike. That's $31,000. They sent me an offer last night. And you know what? We almost have to take it, Mike.
That sounds like a deal.
That's a deal, because we've been waiting on somebody to write an offer. And it's shown about 15 times in 30 days. Nobody's willing to pay the price. We started at $529. Now we're at $485. And somebody said, I'll give you $470. Mike, I was at $489 yesterday. They said they'll give you $470. Mike, that's $19,000 less than I'm asking. Then he had the nerve, when I turned the page in the offer, he had the nerve to say, oh, and give me another $12,000. And because my seller's like, Greg, what's happening? I'm waiting on the offer. I'm like, I'm waiting with you.
Right.
And
buyers
I can't
got
even
power right now.
Buyers got power. And with this no money down, yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Hey, I'm just going to get off subject anyway. So I just want to share this story. Greg Deville, this guy's the man. So I won't go over exactly how we meet, but I'll say this. I see Greg all over town. I see this wrap truck, Greg Deville. Like, I got to meet this guy. I got to know him. Yeah. Right? This has got to be 7-8 years ago. And I'd see him everywhere. I hear about him everywhere. And then out of the blue, I get this phone call, and he goes, this is Greg Deville. I was like, oh my gosh, my prayers have been answered. This is a trip. I don't think I ever told you this story. And he calls me, I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to meet this guy forever. This guy is the man in Las Vegas. For sure, the guy I want to meet. So I never told you that, Greg. And I know we've been dealing with each other. We talk a few times a year, and then we do some big things like this. We get down 80, 90 people that call in and that you get in your list. We help. But I wanted to share that story. I'm so happy when you reached out to me, and it's always so nice to see you. And I really appreciate you for coming into my life.
Right on, man. Likewise, Mike. And, you've answered a lot of the calls. And I want to appreciate you, Mike, because you answer the phone. And not just because you see Greg Deville. I've had people call and they say, hey, I talked to Mike, and you answer your phone. Do you know how many agents? I wish I could teach the value of answering your phone. I'm going to just leave that blank, but answer the phone. I've gotten business, Mike, because I answer the phone.
Right.
I had some Canadians driving through town, and they were looking to purchase their snowbirds, and they were here with their family. And they said they called, and I answered the phone. They said, wow, you're the first realtor out of 5 realtors that answered your phone. And do you know I sold 5 family members' homes from that one phone call?
That's such a true statement. Some people won't understand until they start calling agents. And I know as a realtor, it's got to be difficult as you're trying to negotiate with somebody who has a house, and that same agent doesn't pick up their phone. It's like you're trying to sell something, right?
Yeah. You do want to get this off your books. You do want to go into escrow, right? An agent told me once, he says, Deville, you don't have any listings. I say, yeah, because they're all in escrow. What's the operative word in real estate?
Right. You want
escrow.
Escrow.
Escrow is the operative word. You're in escrow, right? That means we're closing the deal. We've got an offer. We're off the market. I don't want to be in the market.
Right.
I want to get this deal, even though they're at 30. So, and then the agent wanted another 25 additional. Guess what, Mike? Because the market is so hungry right now, we're going to end up paying that $34,000.
Hey, I understand why. You know what? You take a deal, you take the one that you got because there may not be one right behind it.
That part, say that part. That's exactly what it is.
And also, it goes back to, I know, and I've never been a realtor, but I know what it's like when people see the first house, they fall in love with it. They want to see 19 more. It's like, and then the first one's gone. It's like, sometimes, man, that first house was the one.
That was the one.
It was God's will. It's just what it was. So,
first-time buyers. Yeah. First-time buyers are so... They don't know the realness. I have a buyer I'm working with right now, and they lost the deal. They're working with a different agent, so now they asked me to come on board. They lost the deal that they really wanted to have. They regret it today, over $500.
Right.
And had I been the agent, I would have given the $500. A savvy agent understands giving back to make a deal work is not a bad deal. A bird in hand's better than 2 in the bush. Some people don't get it until they lose that deal. $500, Mike. They could have had the deal in escrow. In fact, about now they would have their keys. For Valentine's Day, they would be in the house having fun.
Yeah, don't lose the deal over a few $100. Take that deal.
Mike, I've given $4,000 to make a deal work. And so whatever, it's called the cost of doing business.
Right.
I had an opportunity to get both sides of the deal, and the lady was short $4,000. Guess what? I considered that as another agent had come on board, and I would have paid the other agent. I said, well, I'll give it to the lady. At least I still get my 3%.
I'm with you, man. We do what it takes to make a deal.
Do what it takes to make a deal.
Everything I can in my power to make your credit better. So I'm telling you, it's what we do. So we work with passion. You know what? When you come here, we're on your team. We just make things happen. So that's it. It works.
That's it. Wonderful. Mike, man, again, thanks for answering your phone. Thanks for taking last minute call with me and coming on to do the show. I know it was last minute. You got things to do. Let me thank you one more time. Appreciate you, Mike. Magic Mike, everybody. The credit restoration guy.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks, everyone.
We'll be in touch real soon. Okay, Mike? All right, everybody, listen, we have had our show for today, and we're talking about credit. We're talking about refunds and credit. Use the refund to fix your credit. We've got people in place, in position, ready to go to take your call. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, largest black-owned brokerage in the state of Nevada. That's right, I said it. This is what we do, and we love it over here. So if I can help you get into homes this year, let's do it. Don't forget to get my book at gregdeville.store, The Journey into Entrepreneurship and Success. I want you to read my story. It's a motivational workbook. Got a call, as I said this morning. She said it was a little emotional, but it was good. GregDeville.store. Contact me, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, until I talk to you next time, may God's best be yours. Take care.
If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We're here to help.